saved, and the ministries that we think that we run and we operate, that when God really does come in, we don't, not only do we not recognize him, but we resist him because we're so caught up in what we're doing. And that's exactly what happened to these people. They were so entrenched in what they thought and so upset about what Jesus was saying and how it was going to change their thinking about him. When they got so upset, they tried to force him off a cliff. And when something comes to change what we're doing and what we're comfortable in and what we like, we get mad. We get upset and we want to reject people. We want to even reject God because God operates through people. Yeah. So we have to be very, very careful how we treat people, because you never know. We talked about in Sunday school this morning about being rejected for Christ. And when somebody rejects you and you know that you're doing what thus saith the Lord, you know you're doing what God calls you to do, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting God. They're rejecting Christ. And we can fall into that. And we can get caught up in that. And the tragedy about that is there does come a point where the presence of God can and will leave. And I say that to say that like I said, we have such an opportunity every week to come in and to basically open the door, for Christ to come in. And we're not talking about the physical door of the church, but every individual in here has an opportunity every Sunday to come in. You take your seat, and you have the choice. Am I going to enter into worship? Am I going to acknowledge God for who he is? Am I going to purposefully focus my attention on him? And we're not even in church that long. So for this hour, for this 2 hours, am I going to focus my attention on him? Or am I going to be caught up in all this other stuff that I'm doing? Am I going to be frustrated and aggravated when they keep telling me to stand up? When they keep telling me to clap? When they keep telling me to open my mouth? When they keep asking me to amen? And I don't want to amen. And I don't want to clap. And I don't want to stand up. Because that's not me. But be careful that you're not getting caught up in what these people in Nazareth got caught up in. So upset and so entrenched in what you're doing that you miss God. And he can and will leave. And the key point for today is that it starts with worship. Everything that we do as believers starts with worship. That's our starting point. When you're compelled to worship God, you're not just praising God. You're not just saying, God, because you did this, I'm going to give you this. You're saying, God, even if you don't do anything else, I'm just acknowledging you. I'm just so grateful and thankful that you even allowed me to call myself a Christian. That you even allowed me to associate myself with you because you're so great. It's getting into that mindset that really is the door for God to come in and operate. And so, as I close, I just want to just have a couple thoughts. First is harden not your heart, church. Don't harden your heart. Worship is that element that brings you into right perspective with God. It makes you very small. It makes God very, very large, very big. And that's the starting point. A lot of times we want to make ourselves big and make everything else and everybody else small. But don't harden your heart today. We have a great opportunity we can see just from this morning with the children in the choir that God has blessed us. God has given us, if nothing else, He's tasked us with raising these children, with bringing them up, like we say in the church covenant, in a Christian way. And so if there's nothing else for us to do, it's for us to do that. So God has something for us to do, but we can't do it if we fail to recognize who God is. Not just in the miracles, not just in the fact that we have somebody in our church that had a double lung transplant. You understand how crazy that is? That in and of itself is enough for us to be going crazy. But if you think about how caught up we are in the familiar, because we look at that situation, we be like, yeah, that's great. But I'm still not going to get up because ain't nothing changed for me. Not that it's good or it's bad, but it's just regular. So I'm gonna clap, that's good. But I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna acknowledge, because until God touches me and mine, I'm not cool. And that's a dangerous place to be. Let's not fall into that place, church. So to going back to the title as I close, these are the people that even Jesus couldn't help. Let's not be those people, church. Amen. Amen. Amen.